Hey, this is Rhino, and you're listening to the Timo and Harley Show.
Welcome to the Timo and Harley Show.
Thank you for listening to the Timo and Harley Show. I am Timo. Over there's my partner in Mindcrime, Mr. Ben Harley. Say hello, Harley.
What is happening, people?
Ben, hockey champ Harley?
That's right. Yes, thank you, Timo.
You got a cup of some sort.
Yeah, a giant cup. Well, I wear one. Yeah, no. But yeah, we won a golden cup. But no, wow. Yeah. Well, maybe it was, gold plated. But right. Yes, sir. No, it wasn't the Stanley Cup.
Right.
Yeah, actually, it was the Jerry Thomason Cup.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, good old Jerry Thomason. Yeah. So yeah, we last Sunday, the space-time continuum. We got to win a little championship. So I really enjoyed it. It was a lot. I filled in the last so many games, maybe 4 or 5 games before the playoffs, and then we had 2 rounds because we actually got a bye for the first round. So yeah, we played 2 more games and won it. And I actually got a second star of the game, Tim. I've never,
wow,
never. And they give out 3 stars of the game every hockey game. In the pros, whatever. So yeah, I actually got a puck with it says second star on there. So
nice. Congratulations. Yeah. Now that was
2 out
a
of 3
league.
Ain't bad, right?
No, that was a league where you're the cheat. You're the young kid going into 50 plus. So you're a clear advantage over all those wimps. Is that what it is?
Yeah, I had a 2-year and let's say 3-month advantage.
All right.
On these old timers.
Apparently it's all it took. That's all it took. So whoever got the first star, he must be like 45.
No. He's a hell of a player on our squad as well. We have Dean.
Okay.
Yeah. So shout out to Dean. Yeah, Timo, I've been doing a lot. It's like the parade's coming up, and and we've been partying all ever since. And doing the press circuit.
A lot of people off work in town.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, you should see them. They're just coming in here in droves into the shop.
Awesome.
Yeah, no, thank you, Tim. It was a lot of fun. One gentleman did say I think they were going to check my urine for steroids before I get my name engraved on the cup. We'll see.
I hope they never check my urine. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
I've had enough of that. I've had enough of my urine being checked for various reasons. I'm done with that stuff. So
yeah.
I actually got more texts and reactions off that urologist story than on anything else we've ever done to the show. I said, you should go back and hear my colonoscopy story. That one was funfunnier.
Yeah.
So I don't think it was the humor. I think it was the pain. But speaking of pain, you got through the pain and you are a champ. You're a hockey champ.
Yeah, Timo.
Nice.
Yeah, swooped in there at the end. Poor Todd Bauer got an injury.
Oh no!
So they called me up. I've been toiling away in the Wednesday, Friday mornings.
All right.
Early morning drop-ins. Toiling away, Timo.
There you go.
I got my shot and I took advantage of it.
There you go. Took your opportunity. You had an opportunity.
That's right.
That's right. Good. Well, Ben Harley.
Thank you for asking. Tim.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And then you got another opportunity here because really soon we've got Hicks season coming up here.
Yeah.
Hicks season. We're going to be celebrating our big 400th anniversary. Over a couple of shows, I do believe, coming up here. We got Danny Hicks.
Yeah.
Might even be able to.
It's
hard. It's hard to believe, but we're going to end up doing.
I don't think I've ever improved either.
No, we're going to do that, and then we're going to be in studio together. Hopefully.
Yes.
If it all works out,
that's going to be fun.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that, Timo.
And also, new brain invasion, new Timo and Danny Hicks brain invasion featuring Sierra and Baird.
Yeah.
We've got it.
About to drop.
It actually, it secretly has dropped. I do believe right now, if you want to buy it, you can. I just haven't started promoting it yet. I just wanted to get everything out there and ready. We do have some CDs. It will be available for download and all that. And if you look it up right now, probably on iTunes or Amazon, you'll probably find it. The record is called "And Off Came His Head."
Off came his head. Yes.
Yes.
With a fine cover by one Dan O'Say.
That's right. Yeah. He actually
Fine
sent that
cover.
to me. I thought it was almost too gory. He kind of just looked at me like, who am I talking to? Is this my brother?
Yeah.
I'm like,
It's not right.
yeah. I'm like, I don't know. I'm more into 50s robots now, you know?
Yeah.
So, but, so we're looking forward to all that coming up, Mr. Ben Harley.
Yeah. That's going to be great.
Let's see here. Let's get through some stuff I watched so we can get to stuff you've looked at. I know you've been excited. You probably were up all night watching stuff because you're excited, rubbing all over your number 2 star puck and things like that.
That's right. Yeah.
And so let's get moving here. Ben Harley, I just want to report we have made it about 3/4 of the way through Jesus of Nazareth.
Okay.
And I think I've grown a beard almost as long as his watching it. But I can tell you one thing. It's funny because Chance is immersed in it. Now, it's not making him a pious person. He's just immersed in the story, you know, because I even told him, hey, Chance, where were we in this? I lost my spot on this, and with 6.5 hours to choose from, I need help, you know. And he starts going, I think it's right after they cut John the Baptist's head off. I looked at him like, wow, man, you really are getting into this thing. Yeah. So we're getting right to the point, I think, where Judas is going to give that nasty kiss of his, you know.
Oh, the kiss of death.
Yeah. But, you know, they kind of play a lot of this stuff off the way it probably actually went down, though, you know, where Judas, I think, was trying to get Jesus more in front of people to confront the powers to be. He was almost pushing Jesus to do what he's supposed to do.
More.
Yeah. And I know Judas and Mary Magdalene, 2 people have gotten a bad rap over history.
Yeah.
And I think the Catholic Church didn't help that a whole lot. I think they were trying to make the story a little more compelling.
I guess, yeah.
I honestly do. You know, because I don't think Mary Magdalene was necessarily a hooker. I think she may have been Jesus' wife or Jesus' companion, and they don't want to talk about that. I don't understand why. I don't either. I don't either. It's got something to do with something I probably shouldn't know. So, you know, and then with Judas, I understand it makes the story a little bit better to make him sort of a betrayer as opposed to a fulfiller of prophecy, you know? So, again, not that I'm religious, but I do appreciate all this stuff. And, think there's a lot of history and lessons to be learned, whether or not you put it into your faith column or not. So, you know, interesting. Let's see here, Mr. Ben Harley watched,
what you got, boy?
Oh, I got a lot of stuff here. Now, you watched The Terror. All right, a little bit. Now, you can speak on your episode a little bit here, but I'm probably one episode from tapping out because I watched what I believe would have been the 4th episode. I think the one where what happened in this one. I can't even hardly remember what happened. All I can tell you is this: is that I have been starting to spend the episodes looking over to Angio, bugging the crap out of her because she watches this stuff. I'm sitting there, and all I'm doing is explaining. See. This is why I can't stand TV. It just slowed down, and it's taken me completely out of it. And I want to keep my marriage, and I don't care about the show enough. But I think I might try one more episode. There's just nothing happening, man. I'm just like, I appreciate they're up in the snow and stuff. I mean, I appreciate something might be lurking about, but it's just too little. You know, it's like not enough anything in it, you know, so I'm kind of, I'm close to tapping out. Harley. Yeah.
Well, we can speak on that a little bit more too.
Okay.
You know,
yeah. But let's see here. Svengoolie this weekend, Mr. Ben Harley, had Abbott and Costello go to Mars.
Yeah. Now you spoke about this. You said you don't think you've seen that.
I don't think I had seen that, except they don't go to Mars. They go to New Orleans.
Yeah.
Then they go to Venus.
Yeah. Right.
So with the 1953 Miss Universe pageant contestants are the cast of the population of Venus. So I was okay with that.
Yeah. I bet you were.
Oh, was I okay with that? Yeah, I was good. We were good with that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've seen that. It's probably when I was a lot younger. It sounds really familiar.
It sounded familiar, but as watching, I was like, man, me personally, I'm not saying you did. I think this one slipped by me here.
Because of the costumes in New Orleans and all that freak them out, right?
Yeah, the big heads.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. So it was okay. I didn't die laughing, but it was humorous to watch. We've talked about this before. And I don't think people quite get this, but because my brother was talking to me about Svengoolie. He said, I tried to watch Svengoolie. I can't do it. And let me tell you something. This was just painful. I mean, Svengoolie's shtick was painful. It was terrible. But I always think that. I don't find him in the least bit funny. Not at all. I just appreciate the movies he shows. I like the cheap set and colors and things, that he has. It just reminds me of something I never had when I was a kid, which was a horror host.
Right.
He's no better, no worse than any of the other ones. I know they're all terrible and they're not funny. I know this.
What do you mean?
I mean what I mean. I mean what I'm saying. But I do appreciate his knowledge, and I do appreciate what they pick out to watch and stuff. I think it's a fun mix. I'd be picking out pretty much the same things. So I do appreciate it. And I do like watching it. And I hope it stays on. And I wish what was it, Rich Cozy or whatever his name is or whatever. I wish him all the best and keep doing it. I enjoy it. But dude, you ain't funny. But keep trying, really, because it's part of it's part of the appeal of the show, I guess. Yeah. So anyway, but that was okay. It wasn't too bad watching that. Watched a movie, Ben Harley, from 2014 called Indigenous.
Okay.
Let's see here. This movie is Exists meets The Descent.
Really?
Yeah. All wrapped up in the legend of the Chupacabra.
Oh,
yeah.
No.
Although
you like the Chupacabra.
I do like the Chupacabra, although this movie is nowhere near as effective as either Exist or Descent. It's unfortunate. Okay. Kind of loses it takes a while to get going. They have too much of young people with nice abs partying down in South America and finding out there's a bad place they shouldn't go. So it's the first place they want to go.
Oh, yeah.
And they're attacked by, I don't know.
Chupacabra?
Well, yeah. They kind of looks like the Descent monsters a little bit. I don't know. Okay. It's, no, not really. Pulled out, hey, hold on.
Oh, hey, now.
Yes, I was. Pulled out my Blu-ray, sorry. I got this fancy secret Blu-ray, The Monolith Monsters.
Oh, really?
Yeah, nice. I had to watch it. I pulled that out and watched it. I really wanted to see it. I like watching that movie. It's a lot of fun. For some reason, I like watching giant rocks grow and fall. Because that's it,
That's about what
I know, but it's fun. It's one of those 50s movies that I just love to take a time machine, go back to the drive-in and see one of those flicks. To watch it there in that period.
I miss the drive-in.
Yeah. So we got one here. So real close.
We got one here. It's out kind of about halfway between here and my brother's house. He lives out a little bit, and it's a nice one too. It's really nice. I haven't got out there in quite some time.
Yeah, I usually try to get out there once a year. So I know me and Danny Hicks have won a couple times, and Chance and I go every now and then. So let's see here. Moving on, Mr. Ben Harley. Yeah. From 1933, watch another movie I kind of pulled out to watch again, The Ghoul.
The Ghoul.
Yeah,
nice.
With Boris Karloff, Cedric Hardwick, Ernest Thesiger from The Bride of Frankenstein, Pretorius. The guy, I like that guy. And then Ralph Richardson in his first movie role in this. Really? I have tried to watch this I bet a half dozen times trying to like it. It's Boris Karloff from 1933. It's a horror film about him coming back from the dead. It's like a ghoul type of thing. Yeah. Just can't get into it, man. It's kind of an old house kind of thing, but just something's with the pacing, something's with the editing, and I don't know. It just doesn't hold up or hold water. It's kind of like, man, it's really frustrating. So what will I do? I will keep watching it till I think it won't frustrate me anymore. But
right. You'll watch it in about 6 months.
I probably will. I think I watched it 6 months ago. They keep it up.
Good grief.
Yeah, they keep it up on Prime just to fuck with me. So
yeah.
Let's see here. Finally, Mr. Ben Harley, I've been wanting to tell you about this because I want to warn you about something. Okay. I'm going to warn you about something, okay? Are you ready to be warned? Do you have you have your being warned shoes on?
Yeah.
There's a movie on Amazon that you've been dying to watch. We haven't talked about this at all.
Okay.
Nothing. But I know you, Ben Harley, and I know you've been dying to watch this movie. It's called Carnivore, Werewolf of London. Have you seen this on Prime?
Yeah, I think I came across it.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, let me warn you.
Do not watch
this. Is from 2017. All right.
Yeah.
The acting is actually okay, but it is very slow and very ridiculous. It's shot really nice. It looks like half of it was a big budget, and the other half was a weekend bunch of friends getting drunk.
Really?
It is one of the most uncomfortable mix of talent and non-talent I think I've seen in a film almost ever.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, so I'll give you an example. All right. Now, remember when I talked about a Bigfoot movie or a werewolf movie? All you have to do is put a few people in a cabin in the woods and having them being menaced from the outside. Yes. And you can make it scary. Well, this movie is a textbook on how to fuck that all up.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
First of all, making it a man and a woman. The man's going to propose to the woman. The woman says no, makes fun of him. So then you don't like her. And then he starts being a jackass. So you don't like him. They're renting a house in the woods. Of course, the guy who rents it to him is up to no good. You know that like right away.
Nefarious, yeah.
Yeah. Now, the werewolf looks like they spent about, maybe $30 at Walmart.
That bad?
Oh.
I mean, is it? Is it a guy in a suit or is it like?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's a guy in a literal.
Or gal.
No, it's a guy. I guarantee it's a guy. And literally you remember this suit you used to wear for Bigfoot? Remember you used to put a Bigfoot costume on and Dirty Dave from Infernal Dreams?
Wait, that was Bigfoot, Tim.
All right, that was Bigfoot. That costume was chilling compared to what we were looking at here. I'm not kidding you.
Yeah.
You might want to actually, if you put it on, fast forward to the end when you finally see the damn thing.
Yeah.
And to say the werewolf looks silly would insult silly people. And one thing we don't do in this show, Ben Harley, is insult silly people. No. I'm going to warn Era, stay the hell away from this movie. It is, it's the biggest waste of time. I was cursing at it last night. I don't know why I was watching. It was almost like the werewolf costume was so bad. I'm like, holy shit. And when you see like the rest of the production values of the film, it looks beautiful. It's lit perfect. It's the cameras are using, clearly spent some money on. Like I said, the acting is decent. And then it just, once the werewolf, it gets worse.
Really?
So it's bad. And you're like, get on to the werewolf. It's like watching Titanic. When's a boat going to sink? Get to the werewolf already. Quit. I'm tired of this. I mean, when you see two young, attractive people make sex boring, you've got some problems on your hands there, Mr. Ben Harley.
Yes, you do.
So anyway, a warning, and it's a public service announcement. Public service announcement to our listeners: do not watch this piece of crap. It ain't worth it.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff on there right now. It's like, I'm going through some, so I made myself sick on the Bigfoot stuff. I don't know. I've tried to watch a couple of the movies, and like I said, the cover art is awesome. And then you get into this movie, and I know about 4 minutes in, I'm like, I can't.
Right. Well, and that
sucks.
Yeah, it's a thing. Right. It's a thing. It's a thing with Amazon Prime. Is that they have a lot of cool older stuff, a wealth of it, lots of neat documentaries and stuff. Now, when it comes to new, hip, trendy films, really good, it's hit and miss at best.
Yeah.
Very best. They invest in their catalog more than new stuff, or whatever. They got their originals too. I mean, Netflix ain't that much different. It's really not. But yeah, it's definitely hit and miss at best when it comes to new stuff. Okay. I don't even really bother. I don't even bother with new movies anyway. I just I am dreading watching that Shape of Water movie. I'm just dreading. I'm going to watch it.
I am too. I'm not. I guess I feel the same way. It's weird. I don't know.
I feel like I'm out of touch with the world. In a way, it's just like I'm not identifying with anything I'm seeing anymore. Like nothing at all. I don't want to watch something.
We'll speak on that too.
Okay, well, I was gonna say I don't want to watch something that's depressing and slow. I don't want to watch something that's going to give me a headache because it's so fast and I can't catch what's going on. And there is no there's no middle ground anymore. But Ben Harley, the very last thing, I did watch The Disaster Artist.
Now, how's that?
That's great. It's really good. If you don't know anything about Tommy Wiseau in The Room, the movie The Room, I would at least look into it first. I don't even have The Room. I've never seen it. It's in like a Netflix queue or something. I want to see it. I'm not dying to see it though. You know, I've seen,
Sure.
whatever, however bad it is, trust me, I've seen worse. I mean, so we have the Mad Foxes under our belt, and I hang on to that, you know, like a cheap suit. So
Yeah, yeah.
James Franco does a really, really good job, actually, playing Tommy Wiseau. And,
Okay.
God, who's the other guy? Who's the pudgy guy that's always in his movies, too? Seth Rogen. Yeah, Seth Rogen is actually good in it. Seth Rogen.
I like Seth Rogen. He's all right. He's hit or miss sometimes, but he's pretty decent.
He is. I'm like okay with him, but he plays a straight guy in this. Like he's a director of photography for The Room, and he's pretty good because Tommy Wiseau is supposed to be the director, and it's definitely worth watching. But you have to understand what you're seeing is it's not real, but it's real. Like that's how this guy is. You know, he's actually Tommy Wiseau is a co-star of the film Samurai Cop 2. So that'll maybe give you some kind of some sort of scope here. But he's this guy who doesn't know how to act. He's terrible. Nobody knows where he's really from. He's got an accent. He swears he doesn't. And he's just got money, and he spent a lot of money for this movie, The Room. It's the worst thing ever made. And because he did that, he's probably made millions of dollars off of it because people are guffawed by it. The disaster movie opens with every famous person in Hollywood talking about how amazing the Room is. And I'm just like, I throw my arms up sometimes. I really, you put out The Arrival, the movie The Arrival. You put out that, you know, you do this, you make these movies like Best Picture, and you're dying over The Room. Yeah, there may be a God, but there's no Hollywood anymore. I can tell you that right now. Just what the hell are you people doing? You know, you have a comedian remaking Halloween. Great. Okay. So, and that guy, he's on there too. He's on the disaster artist talking in the beginning. So Danny Bride. Yeah. He's one of the guys that is on there. So anyway, Disaster Artist, I do recommend. It is fun. It's as good as you've heard. It's a fun movie. It's a fun movie. So what you got, Ben Harley? What do you got?
Nothing.
All right. Let's move on.
So let's go.
Right.
I ain't got a damn thing. No, Timo. Yes, we'll start in with something a little lighter first. I have been watching the Devils hockey.
Okay.
They're
not doing as good as Ben Harley?
No, not yet. No,
Okay.
We'll see. Yeah, so they finally got some emotion going, which is good. But I said, I know we're in the space-time continuum, so we're getting there. We'll see, Tim.
Right.
It hasn't been as much fun to watch. Let me put it that way. It was as of last night. It wasn't too bad. We're getting there, buddy. So we're getting there.
All right.
Let's see, Tim. You remember the gentleman Art Bell?
Yes, I sure do.
Yeah. He passed away.
I saw that. Yeah.
On Friday the 13th.
Yes.
So want to speak on that a little bit.
I smell a conspiracy. That's a weird day for him to die. And
that's what I was thinking.
Is there a connection with Arlie Ermey?
I don't know.
Is there a connection with him dying too? But go ahead.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Art Bell. He had what was it, Coast to Coast?
Yeah,
the radio show Coast to Coast, and he used to talk about a lot of things on there, or he'd let people call up.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't call him a cryptozoologist by any means or anything like that, but he would have cryptozoologists on there. He would have people who've astro projected,
right? Ghosts,
everything. Yeah, ghosts.
Yeah.
And it was kind of neat. And I would listen to him sometimes too, because at that time I was working real early in the mornings or sometimes late at night. You could hear it, which was fun. That stuff was that was a lot of fun to listen to, and stuff. So yeah, wanted to say I thought that was kind of strange. Friday 13th, and but anyways, watched a little bit of Gotham the other day.
All right.
So it's getting very interesting. There's a lot of stuff going on. A lot. I mean, I do like the show, as I've talked about, but they have put so much into this like lately. I mean, which is good. I mean, I don't know how to say it was losing steam by any means, but they've really picked up the pace. I'm not quite sure. Like, for some reason, I've been okay, I guess, with them. It's its own universe. And I kind of went in there thinking that a little bit, because first off, we're going in perspective of a kid, who's started out, he's like 12 or 13 years old. I knew we were going to see Batman for a while. You know what I mean? Right. I knew they're going to have to make up some other things and stuff like that. So, but they've the Joker thing has, I don't know, it's a little strange. Yeah, he had a twin brother, and I don't know. Yeah, I said, anyways, he has a twin brother, and Jerome was the one who I thought was going to be the Joker. He had the face, the everything. Well, his twin brother, he's been trying to capture him, which you didn't find out until maybe an episode ago.
Oh.
Well, he does. Yeah, he does capture him. And at the end, Jerome gets killed at the end of this one. Well, you never know, though. I'm thinking, well, a lot of people come back to life in the show. So
well, he has a twin also, right? So,
yeah. So, well, the twins left. And so at the end, after he died, he sent like a box to his brother, or had which I think if my brother was this guy, Jerome, I wouldn't have opened this box in the first place, but he opened the box and it sprayed him with a toxin they had made up because they were trying to blow up a blimp, actually, Timo, over a rock concert. It wasn't a real big rock concert, I must say.
Was it a big blimp?
Yeah, but it's a big blimp. Yeah, a lot of laughing gas.
Oh, boy. That's
so like I said, he's running with the Scarecrow. So they got the Scarecrow helping him mix up the stuff. And so anyways, Jerome's brother opens up the package, and it's the laughing gas made especially for him, which looks like it's going to turn him into the full-fledged Joker. I guess so.
They swerved you.
A little bit. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's okay. Whatever. Like I said, I'm just going with it at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, everything's so new. It's like
sounds like we got some revisionist DC universe history going on here, Mr. Ben Harley.
A little bit. The thing is, I'm just glad they're bringing in some of the characters. You know what I mean? I'm like, wow, you brought that guy in. Yeah, cool. Good with that. It's just I'd like to see Batman a little sooner than later, but who knows how long it's going to last. So. Or if we'll ever see him as far as the suit. And
I bet that'll be the end of the series.
That's what I was thinking.
When he turns into Batman.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean.
And then I'm going to karate kick my television.
Well, they could have another Batman series, Ben Harley.
Yeah, that's true.
They could lead into it. If Gotham does really good, maybe they would do something like that.
It's had to have done okay because it's been on for a little while now. I was surprised, I've enjoyed it, and I think it's going to end up. We'll see.
You sound like you're kind of getting a little irritated.
Well, a little.
Is it the revisionist thing? Because you got a problem with the suits now. Now you're getting the story all jumbled up, and it's like it's messing with you now. Now it's telling you that what you thought you knew wasn't so. Here's
my thing. Okay, this is going to sound mean. I'm not a real big fan of the kid that plays Batman. He's all right.
Okay.
He's okay. He's good. But he's a little thin and just like, I don't know, real kind of dorky. He's getting better and better. Getting better all the time. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
Well, prequels for me are a little hard on anything. Prequels to any type of stuff.
Are you battling admitting that you might be starting to get fatigued like I do with these shows? It's just happening wrong. I mean, because it sounds like they're writing themselves into circles.
A little bit. There's just right now. There's almost a little bit too much going on.
Yeah.
I guess.
Okay.
I like most of it a lot, but to me, it's a lot of it. It's hard because all this other stuff's going on with all these real cool characters, and I don't have Batman in there yet. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's just kind of hard, but I like the guy who plays James Gordon. So basically, I think I've said this to you before, maybe Tim. I don't know. It's like, but Gordon is kind of like Batman in the show.
Right.
Really, you know what I mean? He's the hero. He's the, so, but it is good. It's just weird sometimes. I don't know. It's out there, Timo.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, and I guess I appreciate that too, but I'm also a purist, so it's hard.
I kind of think that, and this is what I don't like about shows too, and another way to articulate it is that you have okay, this is going to happen. However, we have to stretch this out. So once we're getting too much, we need to dive into characters and slow it down and start exploring things that aren't going to affect what we need to get to.
Right.
So if we're going to go into the Joker having a twin brother, what difference does it make as long as a Joker still becomes a Joker and does this bad deed 4 episodes from now? It doesn't matter. What we've done is we've created this whole swerve that didn't need to be there in the first place. I can't handle this. I just want to be told a story and get the fuck out. So, just give me a story. I'm on the important.
I'm done.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, I know when you get to the terror. I'm about ready to terrorize my TV when I'm watching that thing at this point because I love everything but the show, basically. About it. But go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, Timo, I'll speak on the terror real quick. I got two things actually here, buddy. Well, the
That's
last
fine.
one's a
No,
little
yeah, go ahead.
more fun. A little bit more fun.
All right.
The terror.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched the episode last night. And I actually I don't mind the show itself. I don't mind the characters. I don't really know too many of them. There's a few of them. I do like the main character. He does remind me of Richard Harris's character from Orca a little bit. And he talks a lot like him, so it's probably one of the main reasons. Right. So
he's not Jared, I don't know. Jared Harris, the guy that's left. Yeah. The captain. Of the
I
other
like
ship.
him. I think he's a good character and stuff like that. I kind of feel you a little bit too, like as far as there hasn't been enough of the terror. It's a little bit of a slow build, which is kind of funny because you know me, I'm not so good with that sometimes, and you're much better with it.
Right.
And we're both having the opposite. It's having the opposite effect on us. I've been okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as of last night, I'm a little conflicted. I still like the story. I still like the fact that maybe it's a polar bear. But as of last night, they kind of showed it a little bit, the terror a little bit more. It kind of took a little, I got ice locked last night.
Yeah.
CGI and me are not real pals sometimes. I don't know. I don't know, Timo.
Go watch Carnivore, Werewolf of London. You might go back to see Ben Harley. The damn thing,
hug it and love it.
Yeah, the damn thing couldn't break through a window, but climbs up on the roof and digs a hole through the roof.
Oh my God!
It bounces off a door. Okay,
it's
bad too. So they're both bad now. Now we can admit they're both bad. Good is good and bad is bad, pretty much. But I kind of feel you. Look, I'm listening to you here intently because I've been debating whether or not to try this next episode because I'm basically tapping out on it. I'm like, I don't want to watch this. This is stupid. Yeah. It's stupid to me. It's just like, it's a great idea. It's a stupid show. And you want to talk about like stretching some shit out. I mean, come on, and if it's just, I don't know. If it is just a polar bear, then that's fine, but give more of it, do something with it. Cause this last episode, there was nothing that happened that I could remember. And maybe something did happen, but I don't remember. As far as I know, the show, they're stuck in ice still.
Yeah.
The one guy died. I remember that. And that's about it. That's 4 fucking weeks, man. And that's it.
Yeah.
And then they keep going back to the homeland or the mainland, or I guess the one guy's wife is still trying to search and find. I don't know, Ben Harley. I don't know. So, well, here's the thing. I don't mind a slow build in the movie because I know it's getting to something. Now, if it doesn't get to anything, that movie gets a right.
Right. Oh, yeah.
And a TV show, it's slow, and I don't know it's going to get to anything.
Yeah.
And I'm not putting myself in their hands. I'm not doing it. Just not doing it, man. Yeah. I can watch a riff tracks or something and enjoy myself, but anyway.
Yeah. Like I said, I was a little disappointed last night only for the fact that I like my monsters. I do. And I want them to look halfway decent. And it's not that it looked that bad. It's just, it's painful for me. I'm like, oh God, I'd rather see, I don't know. You can show me the head of a puppet. I don't know. Show me something I don't know.
Right.
It looked like a polar bear mixed with a puma or something. And I don't know. And it's the girl that they were talking to. They had that one Eskimo or whatever lady that they have. They finally were chatting with her a little bit more and had, opening up lines of communication with this lady finally.
Right.
She finally kind of came out and said it's like a spirit animal type thing. I don't know. I don't know if it's trying to protect her so much, just protect that area or whatever. But yeah, it's like a spirit animal. I think it's pretty much what it is. So whatever. I'm okay even with that, but just make it look like, I don't know. I'll take the prophecy monster over this stupid thing. I'm sorry.
So basically, you were waiting for this moment for something to actually happen of some substance, not just getting drug away real quick. Right. You were waiting for this, and then when it happened, you're like, "Oh my God, I'm watching an asylum movie."
In a way, almost. I mean, I'm
exaggerating a bit.
It's not. Yeah, it's not quite that painful, but it's just. I don't know. I didn't like the monster, and for me, then it's. I don't know. I'm gonna still finish it out for sure. I'll
All right.
finish it out, but I don't know. I'm tired of CGI and stuff. I really am.
Yeah.
I'm just sick of it. Man.
I am
I'm
too.
so sick of things looking that way. I just am. I am. It does not give me any pleasure in watching a movie or any type of thing when I see that stuff. It actually, for me, sometimes it takes away from me.
You know, the best CGI I probably see is in commercials.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. I mean, it really is. And so it's almost like you can't win these
upsets me.
days.
Yeah. And then the next thing, Tim, we're getting back to CGI, which
Oh, no.
you're going to enjoy. So, yeah, I was actually at I went to the place called Ideal Hot Dog here in town. Love it. Great place to get me some chili.
I don't know where this is going. Okay.
Yeah, this is great. So
I'm going to sit back.
So here I whip out my wallet to pay. Whip out my wallet to pay for my chili mag, and I have my Jaws wallet. And the guy says, "Boy, that's an old wallet you got." That's an old wallet. I said, "Well, it ain't that old." I said, "Trust me, it's not."
Right.
Not that old, It's not 1975 old.
And stop staring at my wallet.
I said, yeah, and then and yeah, exactly, and or my ass. So like,
that's
it's
old
funny,
too.
Yeah, that's even older than 75, right? That's from 1970, my friend. But yeah, created in the summer of love, probably. So yeah, it was funny. It's like, oh yeah, dude. Nice, nice can, nice caboose. I said, oh, thanks. But he goes, yeah, did you hear that they're remaking that movie? And then like the other guy that's working back there's like, yeah, did you hear that? And both of them were like elated. And I'm like, no, I haven't. I said, they've been trying to do that for years. And I was like, I don't know about that. They said, oh no, yeah, man. They go, George Clooney's in it and Richard Dreyfuss is back in it. And it's like a megalodon in this one, and what it is, they see the previews for it. And it's like it jumps up and eats a helicopter, and I'm just like, I mean, these guys are excited, and I'm not. I don't know. And I was just like, no, I don't think so. But they're like, no, yeah, and I'm like, oh, it's like Jaws. I forget what they called it. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I'm thinking, no, these guys must have watched a fan made. Like something or another,
Right.
So, but in my, so for me, I gotta find this out. I'm like, there's no flipping way. So I go and I search, and there is a movie coming out, right, with Jason Statham, right? Yes, called The Meg.
Right. Yep.
Yes, about a megalodon shark. And I appreciate these guys. They're nice guys over there and stuff.
Right.
But I'm like, I'm not sure how these guys got that mixed up with a Jaws remake. And that's what they're saying. They're remaking Jaws. Like, wait, no. I'm not sure how that happened. But yes, anyway, so yes.
It's got Frankenstein in it, and he finally beats up the doctor. I'm going to kill you guys. I'm going to kill you guys.
It's got Willis from Different Strokes. I'm like, what the? I don't know.
It's got Pink Floyd in it. Did you see him?
Yeah. But anyways, they are doing the movie, Jason Statham, and so they were partially right. I don't know. He's pretty handsome, but I don't know if he's George Clooney handsome.
Right.
And I didn't see Richard Dreyfuss anywhere.
No.
But they were correct on the part. It looked like the shark was going to eat a helicopter.
Mm-hmm.
So I did watch the previews.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to rush out to see it, but I probably will put my beady little eyes on it at some point, because some of it to me did look kind of funny or interesting, like that shark's going up and down the beach, just opening its mouth, and people are just going right in. Like, wow, that's pretty interesting. Okay, that's a different take, or I'd like to see it eat a boat, you know what I mean, or something. But I don't know. I'm like, so I just thought you'd appreciate that story, because these guys, I'm like, wait a second, I just went to get chili mac.
Right.
Whipped out my wallet.
Yeah.
Almost got accosted. But no, these guys, like, it was so funny though. Yeah, because I was getting mad. They were getting so excited. And I'm like, no, wait a second.
Right.
Oh, no. Because I said to the guy, I said, I don't know about that. And I said, yeah, it's like my favorite movie. I don't know if that, I don't think Spielberg, I wouldn't let that happen for Christ.
Well, Ben Harley, I think what you need to do, all right, is you need to whip it back in. Put it all back in, all right?
Yeah.
And you need to go up there to the chili dog place and you need to set them straight.
Yeah.
Set them straight. to say, I'm not playing.
You talking about?
Yeah, I'm not playing around with you, soundbite motherfuckers.
Yeah.
It is a movie called Meg, and that's a dumb name too, by the way.
Oh, it's awful. Like, call it Megalodon or call it something like.
Right.
But the Meg, don't eat. That's just that was the other thing. I'm like, now, it could be interesting. It could be, but I don't know.
No, it could not be interesting.
Jaws remake, man. How do you call that a Jaws remake?
Because those people are convinced that the shark in Jaws was 900 feet long. They really do. You know what they saw? Jaws of Revenge.
Oh, God.
They saw Jaws of Revenge and think this is going to be a remake. Yeah, man, it flies and growls just like the original.
They had to unfriend Mark Diamond because of
you did. You did, didn't you? Right.
No.
Oh, Ben Harley, let's just not worry about the Meg. We'll get it when it comes out on disc. Do not waste your money on that damn thing.
Oh, I'm not going to the theater to see that piece of crap.
Okay.
No way.
Yeah. Just don't set yourself up for that.
No.
It was almost as if that Ben Harley, there's a conspiracy against you, and it starts at the chili dog place, and they're trying to get your money. And look, you think about it, what happened. The first thing they didn't get mentioned to you till you pulled your wallet out. Money.
Yeah.
Nah, they knew you had a Jaws wallet.
Illuminati's.
Yeah.
Something to do with it.
Yeah. They knew you had a Jaws wallet. They set the whole thing up. I'm surprised they didn't blow some kind of powder in your face too.
Yeah. Well, they put it in my chili sauce. Probably what happened.
Right.
Trust me, I went right home and marched right home to look about it, didn't I?
Yeah, you sure did. So
well, see, he's gonna watch the Meg though. He'll watch it one of these.
No.
Whether he likes it or not.
What else you got, Ben Harley?
That's it, Timo. That is it, my friend. Yes.
Let's get to our.
That's enough.
It is enough. All right. Let's get to our fish little films, Mr. Ben Harley. Let's start off with from 2005. We have the movie Larva, or as I wrote it down on my nerd pad, Lava.
Yeah.
I kept looking at that, going, I ain't changing that. I think that's funny. I wrote down lava instead of larva.
Yeah.
All right, let's get out movie guy here, and let's get you a story summary here. I say synopsis sometimes, but that's actually kind of not technically correct, which is why I change it. We're really looking for a storyline here, a plot.
Yeah.
If you were. Yeah. Okay. Now this is right on IMDb. I don't like this at all, but this is the only kind of plot summary or anything that I can find, and I do not want to write these myself. I am too damn lazy. So here we go. Ready?
Yes. Yeah.
In Host, Missouri, the newcomer doctor of veterinary magic, Eli Rudkus, is called by the farmer Jacob Long to examine one of his cows. The veterinarian finds a strange parasite in the animal and sends it to a friend in the Department of Agriculture for research. Later, he finds the same parasite in a creek, and he summons the population for a meeting, warning that the cause might be the animal food. However, Fletcher Odermatt,
come on,
the wealthy owner of the local Host Tender Meals, it's meats. Well, I'm stopping. All right. Look, I'm breaking protocol here on the Timo and Harley show. Okay, listen, there's a veterinary guy. There's a veterinarian. He goes to Host, Missouri, and I'm really close to Missouri. I don't know anybody that lives like this, talks like this, or anything. Okay, we got ourselves some hillbillies, but we're talking Shepherd of the Hills hillbillies, man. We're not talking about these guys. All right, so anyway, so the guy goes, he's a new veterinary guy in town, and the cows, there's problems with the cows. William Forsythe calls him and says, my cows, man, they're messed up. They're messed up. So he finds parasites in the cows. He thinks that they're coming from the feed the farmers are getting for free around there. From
that one guy with the crazy name.
From the Fletcher Odermatt, which I'm not. Look, whoever wrote excuse me, Mr. Claudio Carvalho from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Your summary of Larva has an extra chromosome. Okay, just letting you know that. This is your typical monster movie. All right, the guy with the corporation is giving the farmers free feed to make their cows big and meaty, so that everybody makes more money. It's all about money, right? Yeah. And of course, there's something in the feed that's causing the parasites that are naturally found in the cows to become monsters. Yeah, is that right? Yep. Is that better? Should I be a plot summary author
Writer.
for IMDb.
Writer. Yes.
Yeah, I think so. So there is the plot. Now, Ben Harley, this is the same people who made the movie Mammoth.
Okay.
If you remember correctly, we watched the movie Mammoth.
Yeah.
So it has the same star. That Vincent Ventresca guy is also the star. Now, he is definitely he's much more low key in this film than he was in Mammoth. In Mammoth, he was doing his best low rent Bruce Campbell he could do. If you remember, he was in the television program The Invisible Man that was out like in the 2000s, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
And Romeo and Michelle's high school reunion, he was known for that too.
Okay.
Rachel Hunter. Hello.
Rachel Hunter.
I like her. Yep. William Forsythe. He plays a Quint character almost in a way in this movie. Let's see. The old dude, the mean farmer conglomerate guy is David Selby.
He's right.
He played Quentin Collins in Dark Shadows. He was a werewolf.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. He was also Dean Buckle in Mighty Ducks 2, I believe.
I knew that.
Yeah. And then he was in Falcon Crest. I used to actually watch that, believe it or not. And the sheriff is Robert Miano. He hid himself well. He is a well-known established character actor, but he put like a beard on and kept himself disheveled. You hardly didn't recognize him, but he's a really well-known character actor. And then, the director was Abram, or as he calls himself here, Tim Cox.
Oh, yeah.
And yes, he is the director of Mammoth.
Okay.
So now, where Mammoth was about an alien thing that brings a thawed mammoth to life on a rampage. This is about larvae who grow into like bat monsters.
Yes. Yeah.
And then they have to deal with the bat monsters. So you want to stop the larva, but really it should have been called bat monsters.
Bat monsters.
For the most part, yeah. What'd you think, Ben Harley?
That's what it's not a bad little film.
Yeah.
Real
quick, I know to interrupt you. This was made for Sci-Fi Channel.
Oh,
so for a sci-fi,
it felt like that a little bit, yeah.
Right, but
that's not bad.
Right, not bad for a sci-fi movie. This was not
when sci-fi was still good.
I guess. Yeah. So
before it turned to swi-fi.
Well, before it turned into asylum-fi. Yeah. So this is not an asylum movie. Yeah. Nor does it really feel like one.
No. No, I think they tried to put a lot into this movie. Now the monsters themselves, they're a little
boring,
iffy. Yeah, but like I'll tell you what though, like there is one scene when he first he finds one of the the creatures or whatever, the parasite, and it like gets out of like the little jar he has, not jar or whatever the
petri dish.
Petri dish. See, Tim, I knew you were smart. Yeah, it gets out of that petri dish and like it goes over and like sucks up a thing of blood or something. And I don't know. Yeah, and it like that actually looked really good.
It did.
I thought that effect was great, But then they started to go do a lot more CGI effect too, which I thought was awful. Awful. Some of it was good. I thought the film itself was okay. The acting was all right and stuff. I'm a little squeamish when it comes to movies like this, though. Like, worms and I don't know, intestinal, something like it's inside you.
Slithery things.
Yeah. I'm just but I thought for the most part they did okay. I just think the monsters themselves, like, they did. They kind of, I don't know. Yeah, they did like bats without heads or something. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, they were kind of like that. They were basically flying wings, if that makes any fucking sense at all.
No,
they were flying wings. Yeah.
And then they would get on you like, like a leech, and then they would just suck you, suck you. You know what I mean? Like, but like, so I don't know. It just, I think the monsters could, if they had been a little bit different, or even just one giant one, maybe. I don't know, but I think for the most part, the movie wasn't that bad. But I thought like the build up to the monsters was better than actually the monsters after.
Right.
That sound. And it's not that the monsters took that much away from it. I just thought it was kind of more of a suspense. Like, oh, what is that stuff? And then it actually some of the people dying, I guess. So that stuff was good. But then it just turned into like an action film after a while. And I was like, I kind of liked the slower horror part of it, believe it or not, the
Right.
slower part.
It kind of turns into like the movie Arachnophobia in a way.
A little bit, yeah.
Where it becomes a lot of running around and running away from multiple creatures, if you were.
Yeah.
And I think the setting kind of reminded me a little bit of like the Arachnophobia, sort of a farm type setting, a rural setting like that. I basically, in a nutshell, I actually exactly what I wrote down here. The monsters kind of blow, but it's a well-written, old-fashioned sci-fi thriller. And I think that came from the fact I just watched Monolith Monsters, which it's not too much different. Although, believe it or not, I thought the giant black rocks were kind of cooler than than these things. But it is. It's your basic. An outsider comes to town, and he's got the authority. He is the veterinarian guy, so he's the guy, the animal expert. And as soon as he gets there, bad crap starts happening that is right in his wheelhouse. That's right in his line of work. So not only does he have to deal with people not trusting him, but he also has to deal with finding this incredibly hard to believe story and try to get people to believe him and stuff like that. So I like that formula. I like Arachnophobia, that's very similar too. And you see what I'm saying? And I really like the Monolith Monster. I like that formula. It is the 1950s, tried and true.
Yeah.
Formula.
It's worked for a long time.
And to be quite honest with you, I like to see the William Forsythe looked like he had a little fun in this movie, and he was in it more than I thought he was going to be.
Yeah.
Because he is a supporting character, and I thought he'd be in it for like maybe 5-10 minutes, but he's in a pretty good amount of it, and plays a big role in it. And I do like this Vincent Ventresca guy. I think he's a good actor.
He's not bad. He's okay in this. Rachel Hunter's, she's not in it a whole lot.
No, I mean, there's not more enough towards of the her end. In it either. Really,
no.
Take the Hillary Clinton pantsuits off, please. God, we are just nasty old men. I'm telling you. Anyway, so I hope people take that stuff with a grain of salt, for God's sake. Very mild in person, but just saying. I'm just saying. I just thought it was pretty decent for what it was. I don't think this is a great movie. I just kind of like it for what it is. I will tell you one thing. I think the biggest disappointment was either the original master of this film or the DVD transfer is just plain awful. It looks horrible. It looks terrible.
It's not real well. Yeah.
No, it's like it's shot through like a red or green filter or something. It just... The color, it needs to be color corrected really bad, because it's very hard to watch almost. And it's 2005. There's really no excuse for that. I mean, if you ask me, really there's not. And it's not like a Blu-ray or anything, but I don't know. It just should be better. Now
the ending, Timo, there was something a little silly about that she, I don't know. Did she have some of them cheeseburgers at the party or something that had,
that was kind of weird too. That was just sort of like, we don't have an open ending. We need one. That's part of the formula. So they just basically panned down to Rachel Hunter's stomach. What happened was, when the people were eating the meats, it was affecting them a little bit. But honestly, it seemed to me like there was less of that than there really should have been if that was really an issue. They were inferring, let's put it this way. The movie implied that it probably wasn't a good idea to eat the meat. But I don't really... Was there actually anybody that became a monster because of eating the meat?
No, I don't know.
Think there was. I think they would get invaded. The larvae were like in the water and stuff. So they would get invaded by them. But I don't think that eating them was doing anything. But I think they were just trying to spook you a little bit,
Yeah.
I think a vegetarian wrote this. I'm being honest. Don't you?
Yeah.
Oh, I totally think a vegan or a vegetarian wrote this. Yeah, absolutely. There's no good meat in this movie at all. Yeah.
No. I don't
know. It's a tough one though, Harley. It's kind of like it is the second time I watched it. The first time I watched it was good enough to send it to you. It probably was 10 years ago. It probably was 10 years ago when I watched it, but I remembered it.
Okay.
I remembered it, and I remembered Mammoth. They came out really close together on DVD. And I thought they were both, compared to everything else coming out, watchable. Yeah. And I think that Larva would be put in the watchable. I wouldn't give it a great bape up or anything. It's watchable, though.
Yeah, it's definitely watchable.
If they got a better transfer, it'd really be watchable.
Yeah,
of it too. So I guess that's officially a. What about you?
Yeah, I didn't not hate this movie. I didn't really like it a whole heck of a lot, but I thought it was a decent movie. And like you said, it's kind of a throwback a little bit. But I said I think I would have enjoyed it a little bit more with different monsters, or I don't know, like
or a megalodon.
A megalodon, a mammoth, whatever, something,
Right.
whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it was a good movie. I do have a hard time with things like that, Slither and that, things but that's, hey, that's what they're going for. And, I think, some of whatever. I liked some of the effects at the beginning. Some of the effects in this movie are really good.
The larva look really good. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, some of the stuff, like they do one big CGI thing where one goes into a guy's mouth, then it shows it go down into his, and throughout his body.
Right.
Take host, of his body, whatever. And it's like, it's okay, but I didn't really need that. But I know, especially at that time, they were always doing that. So.
Right.
But for the most part, I thought it was okay. But yeah, so I'm going to give it a two, a little bit,
The same about it. Yeah. It's like you want to like it more than you do. And it's not bad enough to hate. I mean, it's really not. No. It's not a bad movie. It's just, it's ho-hum, but it's ho-hum in a way we miss. Does that make sense? Is that a way to put it? Yeah. Sure. So it's worth looking at, but don't go out of your way to see it. Basically, I guess is what we're saying. It's hard to find anyway. I mean, you might be able to rent it on DVD, Netflix, but I even looked it up to see if there was like a stream of it or anything. I think DVD's basically out of print. You know, and I mean, I guess the only reason it's not out of print is because somebody hasn't bought the last one.
Right.
Go on Amazon. You can confirm that if you think it's funny. But still, I think there's one left, and I think it's been left for like 10 years. So okay, let's tune for Larva. Let's move on to our other official film, Mr. Ben Harley. It's a doozy. This one's a doozy. Yeah, this one is on Amazon Prime. Although I did see this the first time on a channel 11 here, which was our mom and pop TV station in St. Louis for a while. It came pretty quickly to that channel.
Wow. Yeah.
So from 1986, we have the movie Never Too Young to Die. Okay, let me get out Movie Guy here and do a synopsis for this movie here. Here we go. All right.
Yeah.
A top secret agent is murdered. So his estranged son, a high school gymnast, teams up with his dad's attractive female partner to stop the psychopathic hermaphroditic gang leader who killed him and now plans a major terrorist attack. Gene Simmons plays a hermaphrodite killer. Yeah. That's what the movie's known for.
He's a terrorist.
He's a terrorist. just as a terrorist.
Like most.
Yeah. Hermaphroditic gang leaders. Yeah, he's a terrorist. You know he is. Yeah. This I'll tell you what, Harley, this movie right here, we got John Stamos. We got Vanity. Now, George Lazenby was 007 in Her Majesty's Secret Service. He was the guy that was 007 right after Sean Connery, right before Roger Moore. And there is a documentary, I think it's on Hulu, that's George Lazenby like telling his life. Yeah. Ooh, is it a fun story? Man, is it fun. Yeah, because they did not want him to stop being 007. That meant something to these investors. They needed to keep that guy in every movie like they did with Sean Connery, and he wouldn't do it. Yeah. He wouldn't do it. He was a pain in the ass. He grew a beard right after he did 007. And then when he went out on the promotional tour, they wanted him to shave his beard off so he looked like he did in the movie. He refused. That's the kind of pain in the ass he was. Yeah. Wouldn't shave his beard for all the money. It's like, I will shave lots of things for money if you want me to. I'm just telling you right now, things that don't need to be shaved or shouldn't be, so. Yeah. Okay, the funny thing is, John Stamos plays a character called Lance Stargrove. And Gene Simmons plays Velvet von Ragnar. Oh, for crying out loud. Otherwise known as Carruthers. Yeah. He's Carruthers.
Yeah, because you didn't know that was him there dressed up.
I knew that was, that was funny
Yeah.
too, because we were watching the movie, and about halfway through, I looked over to Angie. I go, do they really think that nobody can tell who this guy is?
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, and I don't want to make fun of her because I'm not. But she's like, who, that guy? I said, yeah. She's like, who is he? I just looked at her. She goes, well, I can tell it's makeup and stuff. It's bad. It's terrible, but I can't tell who it is. Now, she said she didn't know what Gene Simmons looked like when he was young. So she wasn't really getting it. And I was like, well, you know that the other guy was Gene Simmons, right? She's like, yeah. This one looks just like that. I mean, it is what it is. But so I'm not making fun, but I'm just saying, I guess if you were coming in with a ho-hum attitude that you wouldn't have realized it. But man, it looked just like his voice just gives it away.
That's what, like, he's talking on the phone to her or something at one point or something. I was like, fucking Gene Simmons, man.
Right.
I'm like, so then I really took a look at him the next time, because the one time they tried to hide him a little bit when he was in the car, like in shadow. But that's when I first started to notice. I was like, that beard's awful.
Right.
And that beard's awful. And then I heard his voice and I was like, wait a second.
Right. That's exactly. Yeah. I mean, like, I think one of his contacts in his eyes went sideways while he was doing his lines, I mean, it was really bad. I mean, it was good, but it was bad, at the same time.
Yeah.
Sorry. No,
got a little off track.
No, but I guess to explain that, there is a character that Gene Simmons plays. He's supposed to be in disguise, and he's basically playing two characters.
Yeah.
And he's being sneaky. He's in disguise playing a good guy, but he's really a bad guy.
Yeah.
So it's one of those deals. So anyway, that's what we're trying to explain. And it's really painfully obvious if you've ever heard a Kiss album, who the hell is doing both these characters or whatever. I don't know, Harley. Why don't you take this over for a minute?
Yeah. So well, it's funny because when you first told me about it, we were, doing it. I'm like, you said, yeah, it's got John Stamos in it and Gene Simmons as a transvestite. I was like, wait, what?
Oh, yeah.
or playing, and so
I did say Vanity. I think that one might have got you going.
And then you also said Vanity, which is fine.
Right.
Vanity. But the thing with this movie, everybody in this movie, for the most part, is awful in this movie. I'm sorry, and like, Stamos, I'm like, and I'm surprised. His performance in this film, I'm surprised that guy ever got a role again. But he's got the face, okay? He's got the face.
Right.
And he got much better because I'm like, he is awful.
Yeah.
Awful. I'm like, is this his first acting gig? Because
No.
he is terrible.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
and and the movie itself is just so bizarre, especially like just the starting of this movie is so bizarre. And then just like just what you're supposed to be looking at. And then it's like Gene Simmons is trying to like conjure up Tim Curry or Dr. Frankenfurter.
Right.
And he's like a leader of the gang from Mad Max, or Road Warrior.
And they've been working out. Yeah.
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 And they're bumbling, just like cartoon character type people. Like, and it's just the first, like, I think I texted you in the first couple minutes of it or whatever. And I was like, I'm flabbergasted. It just, and like, I've seen much more bizarre stuff. Okay. But like, this was just like so odd to me at first.
I actually looked it up to see if it was foreign. Because I'm like, man, this has got to be like Australian or Canadian or something like that. I mean, George Lazenby is Australian. So I immediately thought, well, maybe it's Australian. I mean, what is going on? And then you had, like you said, even Angio mentioned the Mad Max, the Mad Max, the guys that didn't get hired to be in the Mad Max movies, basically, in this thing. Yeah. And they're very Mad Foxes. They're just like jumping around. They're completely useless. Henchmen. Yeah. They're worse than the Penguins henchmen in the full Batman show.
Yeah.
I mean,
Goon 1, Goon 2.
Right. Yeah, it's just, and that's why I mean, it just feels like it takes place in an alternate universe.
Yeah.
Where what on earth is going on here? Like, show me something normal, like anything normal, Well, this was supposed to be set up like a Son of Bond. Type of movie, and they were going to do like a franchise with it, but it bombed. I mean, obviously it bombed. It was terrible, but they were going to do like, because George Lazenby was 007 once, so they were kind of like trying to do the wink that they were going to do a series of films with Lance Stargrove, with John Stamos doing it, and that was not going to work. The movie does have, and we keep having this bar raised as time goes on, but the bar has been raised for the worst dummy drop ever.
Yes.
When the leg buckles over, when the guy gets thrown off and falls seemingly for half mile.
Yeah.
He gets thrown out. John Stamos, I guess, throws some guy off a roof or something happens, and he just falls. And the dummy arms and legs are doing things that a fucking tarantula couldn't do, It just falls. And I'm sorry, but it's kind of funny to see John Stamos beat up anybody.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody with his gymnastic skills.
Yeah, he was a very good gymnast, and he actually took gymnast lessons to portray John Stargrove. Where the hell
Here comes my parallel bars, parallel bar technique. Yeah, Jack.
That's what helped him land the role. But I read some trivia, on it too, whatever, and it was just saying like how Gene Simmons said, he was like, I was just awful. And then he's like, you seen that thing before?
Oh, yeah. He doesn't. He disowned
when anybody ever asked
asked
him about it.
Yeah, he disowned it very quickly.
It's just a bizarre movie. Like, because here he's just such bizarre, over the top velvet. Yeah, Von Ragnar.
Yeah.
Who, like I said, basically is trying to be Frankenfurter. But then he's also dressed up as this other guy who's like, the most milquetoast looking person in the world.
Right.
So he's leading this double life, like he's a double undercover secret agent, but he's also, it's just so weird. It never would happen in a million years. And he's a terrorist.
Right.
It's just so bizarre. And he's awful. Like there's the scene too. I also read that trivia. Like speaking of Linda Carter, lay around.
Oh, right.
He does that little dance routine thing, which
that's
is fun. It's uncomfortable.
It is uncomfortable, yeah.
I felt uncomfortable for Gene Simmons, and not because he had fake prosthetic boobies or whatever. It's because it was awful. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh boy. I mean, I bet you really. Man, he set transgender back.
Oh, you ain't kidding. You ain't. Not only that, but I do believe John Stamos' friend sent the stereotypical Asian computer nerd. Back a few decades too, because as soon as that guy showed up, I told Angie, he's a genius. As soon as they showed him, I go, he's a genius. And boom, he walked right over to a computer, which in 1986 equaled nerd genius. If you had a computer anywhere within 50 feet of your presence, you were a nerd. You were just.
And he was good at building things. Yeah. And
what the hell was that fire thing?
It only worked half the time.
And when it did work, it worked really funny.
Pretty good.
It shot out, sat there and looked around for a second, and then shot further.
Yeah.
It was weird. He made this fire gun that didn't do shit.
Didn't fire real well.
No, it didn't.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, Tim. I'm getting back to Linda Carter. I don't want to get too far off,
sorry.
No, so that suit that he wore.
Yes.
Gene Simmons and his little dance routine, I guess, is the same suit like she wore in one of the Wonder Woman episodes.
I think it was a TV show. It was a TV show that she was on. Yes.
Kiss or she was trying to be. Yeah, that's
she wanted to be look like a member of Kiss.
Kiss.
And I can tell you that it didn't.
She didn't.
I would have much rather have seen her in that. Let's just put it that way.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Can we agree?
I was just like there. That was like one of the most uncomfortable. Like I don't know where Gene Simmons. I said I think we talked about. You said, "Oh yeah, you have to finish or you have to watch it tonight." Something about acid, and I think I said something about Gene Simmons being on acid to have even thought about taking this role because oh my goodness, like I don't know. This is one of them films that I'm just.
It's a petri dish movie. It's a petri dish movie. Yeah, it's a movie where what the hell, the whole thing. What the hell? I mean, really, that was the alternate universe thing. There were some of these movies. And they still make them every now and then, but especially in the 80s. And it was a Mad Max and the Road Warrior was such a major influence on the films of the 80s that I think people who are younger just don't understand.
Videos.
Yeah. I mean, even The Police. What was it? Synchronicity.
Yeah.
That looked like that. The wasteland type of look where everything was torn up paper and
post-apocalyptic world.
Yeah.
Right.
And new wave haircuts on people that thought they were punk rockers.
Yeah.
I mean, the muscle guy, what was with the muscle guy running around too? Looked like Carmine Appice or Appice or whatever with muscles. It's like, what's going on, man? Where did he come from?
Oh, yeah. When he came, that's funny because he showed up.
He just showed up.
It was hilarious.
Yeah.
He just showed up the one time to fight Vanity, like at her. And it was such a contrast of ideas because he shows up, she's at a barn in the horse stables, and he comes in looking like something from Man of War.
Man of War. I was going to say Raven, but Man of War does too. Yeah, that works too.
But not as nice a hair as Man of War. His hair wasn't as good as Man of War. But you know what I'm saying? He looked like he had like the outfit with like skulls, like a skull belt. Man. You know what I mean? Skull knee. It's just like, that's just such a contrast of ideas. Like, who thought of, we'll have him come and fight here in the barn looking like, I don't know, it was
looked
so
like
bizarre.
Kane Roberts if you hit him in the face with the ugly stick and put turpentine on his head.
Right. That's funny.
I mean, that's pretty much what he looked like. That was not a handsome looking dude. Not a handsome looking dude at all.
He wasn't.
This movie is hypnotically bad. I have to admit, I kind of watched the whole thing with my jaw open a little bit. And I had seen it, and I told Angie what's actually funny was the only other time I remember seeing this movie was when it aired on television in the 80s in St. Louis, okay? Like over the air, like, Snooty Antenna. I remember our mom and pop station did not edit films, remember? So you got to see the whole film. But at the same time, that was the only time I remember seeing it. And I told her what's funny is that I remember the dumb scene where Vanity is trying to seduce John Stamos. Now, Vanity, all she had to do is lay on her stomach and pop her butt up. I was seduced. I wasn't going to eat an apple or anything. I was just going to jump. I mean, come the hell on. What are you talking about here?
That was the most uncomfortable scene.
I remember that, and I remember Gene Simmons doing his weird thing. I don't remember all the goofy 80s stuff, which is funny because you were living in the 80s. So that shows how much it is a sign of its times. And like I said, the damn movie had a lot of zippers on its pants. It was wearing its decade on its zippers. Oh yeah. But it's not a good movie at all though. I mean, it's horrible and
awful film.
So but it is on Amazon Prime and it is funny to look at.
It's a curiosity.
Yeah, don't spend a dime on it. But if you can find it watch it because it's funny. And
Gene Simmons will watch it.
Yeah, he deserves it. He deserves this movie to be watched. He's kind of a prickly character himself. I like him, but I don't think I'd like to hang out with him for very long. I think we're getting a fight pretty quick, Yeah. But so I'm gonna do but it's a hell of a lot of fun to watch, but it's not. I don't know. Should I poop on it or give it a giant grape ape up? That's the problem. It's really goofy. It's a terrible, terrible movie, but it is funny to watch. And let's not forget, too, Robert Englund is some kind of weird pet of Gene Simmons in the movie. And then Robert Englund just does not care if he's about ready to get shot. He's going to keep helping Gene Simmons.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's loyal.
He is dedicated.
Loyal.
Yes, he's dedicated to him. So that was mildly interesting at best, see that. Yeah. But so on one hand, it's a huge grape ape up for just the unbelievable weirdness of it. And it's also for just being an awful movie. And I swear to you, the moment that Stamos had the machine gun going, Stargrove, I was like,
there it is.
There's one of the So what are you gonna do, Ben Harley?
I'm gonna.
It's hard, isn't it?
It's because it's an awful film.
Yeah,
and it's so painful, but it is. It's very curious in its bizarreness. It really is. Yeah. And Gene Simmons, he does deserve it.
Right. I guess what we're saying is it's really fun to watch, but it's really terrible at the same time. But it's terrible in a way that it's so terrible. You can't grape ape it up really for being terrible. It's really hard. It's difficult. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
don't know, but so I guess I'm going to give it up. Yeah. But woohoo too, I guess.
Vanity?
I don't know what to do to it. I don't know. I'm on the fence. How about that? There we go.
Okay, that's fine. We don't know what the hell to do. All right. Yeah. Well, that's a real confusing week here on the Timo and Harley show. So we're leading up to our 400th episode. We haven't really gotten our footing yet. So we're still trying.
Not after that shit. I don't know how you could after that movie. That's just such a hard film to even take in. I didn't want to say swallow because I guess that's after watching that film, you don't want to say anything about swallowing.
No, you don't. And I sleep really heavy, like so heavy that I am like basically petrified when I'm sleeping. I just would love to know what I dreamt last night after watching this damn thing. That's all I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't want to know.
Yeah.
Maybe I really don't, because I did wake up with my teeth feeling like I grinded them all night. So I don't know. But anyway, Ben Harley, let's get the hell out of here. I don't know what we're doing next week. Maybe we'll try to keep Gene Simmons it's hard to keep Gene Simmons in normal clothes to begin with. So let's not even go there. All right. Well, on that note, Mr. Ben Harley, till next week, stay spooky, and we'll talk to you then.
Keep it creepy, people.
You've been listening to the Timo and Harley Show, brought to you by ScreenPrintingFactory.com. Your affordable one-stop solution to all your screen printing needs.